So this is a game on Nepal which I played with Matthew and Logan. Um, of course, I started out playing Genji. It again doesn't work out this game, but I do notice that we do have two diamond ranks in our game, and it doesn't really scare me, but I am curious to see what their ranks had dropped to, and they had dropped about 600, 700 per player, which wasn't surprising because of the rank we were playing at. And lost streaks are lost streaks. Our diamond player ends up being pretty salty at Matthew for playing Mercy because he never gets a good res off. We try to teach him how to do it, but of course these things take time and it's kind of hard to implement them during the game. So I start out and I get to the point really quickly thanks to the Lucio speed boost, and I'm able to get a really quick pick on McCree thanks to some lucky headshots. Aim on point. I noticed that the soldier backs up. I tried to go for him, but I didn't land many shurikens, so I wasn't able to burst him down. Both of the tanks are kind of hanging out together. I just tried to throw some shurikens at them, maybe get some picks. But Zarya bubbles the Rhine, and I have to go for the health pack because I can't finish him off, and he also gets healed by the Ana. Uh, I end up going behind them. I hear some McCree shots. I try and deflect the flashbang. I don't get it, and I should have taken a better note that where he threw his flashbang because I tried to go really aggressive on him and deflect his flashbang later. But I noticed he's smart and he throws it to the side of me so that I can't deflect it. A small fight breaks out here. Matthew gets picked as Mercy, and so that's our main healer down. We should have really backed off here. I'm able to get some nice shurikens in, get my ult charged up, and I actually get it. And so I call it out as soon as I get it by pushing Z. Um, and so I noticed that they used Break It Down, and I noticed it was really bad too. So at this point, I'm really looking to sword. I get stunned here, and I have to back off because I am getting lit really hard because of that stun. I go in here, I try and go for the McCree, but he ends up getting his flashbang again because I waited too long, and I get wiped. Uh, I did not notice that the Soldier 76 had visor at the time, which is something I really should have taken note of. Um, I noticed, so here I'm looking at our team, and I'm just checking, are we alive? And we're just trying to get some nice chip damage in, get our ults charged up. I'm looking for a good spot to sword in still. I don't get it. I look for the health pack, but it was already taken. I try and still go for some pick damage, and I get pinned. And it's at this point I'm thinking I am doing jack shit as Genji. I need to switch. And I decide not to switch, but to blow my ult first. And this ends up not being very punishing to me because there's Zarya ults, and I decide to counter ult because I see we get a nice hammer down, and I follow up with a sword, and so does Zarya. Follows up with Graviton. We get two. I pick up a third. I'm at 3 health, which I actually didn't realize. I get finished off right there, but we still get the Zarya. I'm looking around. We're taking point with just the one person. And I look and I'm like, oh boy, that's went from 1 kill to 5 kills, but it's still gold. And at that point, I'm thinking, oh, we are not getting the picks we need. But for whatever reason, what does not go through my mind is I'm not doing my job as DPS, so I should switch. Um, I tried to go for the soldier right there, but he ends up dropping heal nade, so I can't, as well as beat got dropped, so I wasn't able to burst him down with my swift strike. Here I am just trying to melt the Reinhardt, which you can't really do as Genji. And then, so I back off, and I try to go for the Ana, at which point things start flying everywhere. New people come into the fight, new people come out, old people come out of the fight, people die, and this fight just gets, like, blown everywhere. There's nobody grouped up, everyone's fighting their own 1v1s. It's essentially 6 1v1s happening across the entire fucking point. and that's just not what you want to do. You want to be focus firing one or two targets at a time. We get this nice Feral ult right here, which picks up one, actually two, thanks to me finishing off another. I get sword mid-fight, and I clean two of them up, and I'm like, oh, where's the Zarya? So I get Zarya pretty low, and then D was able to finish her off. I tried to deflect off the McCree, but it ends up just not being enough damage. I ended up being really greedy here and tried to go and finish him off. But instead I don't find him. I see the Ana. I somehow missed all three shurikens, which go side to side on her. And I'm able to get out just fine. Here I come back up again, front lines, which is where Genji does not want to be. And I try and go for some deflects, some pick damage, whatever. I find this nice vantage point where I'm able to just dump shurikens into them, and they can't really do a thing about it. I accidentally push Swift Strike in an attempt to crouch, but I don't need it at the time. We get 3 down, and that's including the Mercy, or our Mercy, and so we don't have the res. I get a nice pick on 2 of them. D.Va cleaning one of them up for me because it was kind of a sloppy job on one of them. I get pushed around absolutely everywhere here off the point, and so I'm just thinking, oh, get on the point, get on the point. I start getting hit really low, and I notice I'm getting healed by Mercy. I don't realize she actually dies, and we drop the beat right here. I didn't figure out that we actually used res to get the Lucio back up, and then he dropped the beat. At this point, we're just dumping ults in, trying to keep the contest going, but it doesn't really do anything. And by the time I'm back up, we're wiped, and that's overtime expended.
This is gonna be a long one, isn't it?
Score 0-1.
All right, I did actually miss the last 2 points, but to fill you in, we lost one and we won one. And the reason I'm playing Mercy is because our Diamond player ends up yelling at Matthew almost to get off of Mercy because he's not getting any sick reses off, or any reses at all, actually. He gets a few here and there, but they're not really game changing. But you know, not everyone can play Mercy. It's actually quite hard too. So I end up taking up Mercy because I needed to get off of DPS role, and Matthew needed to play the Roadhog because our Diamond player just wanted Matthew to play anything but healer, so I end up taking up the healer slot. So here we are again on Shrine, excuse me. And so we start off, and I'm just trying to keep everyone full. Our Ryan gets charged. He counter charges, which stops me from healing him, and it ends up getting him killed. Diamond player is everybody. So I end up going around, seeing that both of our tanks are quite damaged, so that's some meat I can heal up and get some ult charge up. So that's all I'm really trying to do, is just heal everyone as they get damaged, build up ult charge. I'm already at 62%. We get an ononate on 2 people, so I get the one who's not ononated, and I try to heal the D.Va up back to full. Her mech breaks, and we get ononated again, so I'm stuck not healing anybody, but it's fine because I just got res. We don't really lose anyone except for our Rhine player again, who just keeps diving in. And we get a few sick picks here and there. I get stunned and then picked off by the McCree because he goes around the point where nobody is. And it's kind of my fault for poor positioning. I should have stuck with the team a little bit better. Here I check to see if I need to be ready to res as soon as I get in to the fight, but we end up killing 3 of them, and actually we get a 4th over here that I didn't notice. So here I am playing around, just meleeing, getting back into the fight. I decided just to heal everyone back up to full. I was going to heal Reaper, and I noticed he's going to go for that sick Death Blossom, which I actually didn't check to see if he had. But either way, that's a really good position for Reaper just to drop in from unknown areas. So I decided not to give his position away by going to heal him. Our D.Va goes into a little 1v1 skirmish against their D.Va, and so I tried to heal her, and I took damage from I don't know what, but I just booked it out of there. And I go for the heal pack even though I don't need it. a small fight breaks out, and we lose Rhine again, and uh, they their Zarya breaks ult, and their diva absolutely just chases me everywhere. Here, like I'm just running everywhere, and diva's right behind me. So that is an example of why you should stay with the team in this game. So I respawn. I fly to the Reaper who just came back, and I noticed that they're pushed up really far. And then they decided to back off, and so now we're just tanking all the chip damage, and I'm thinking we need to go in, even though they just took point for the first time this round. But I'm still thinking we need to go in. So I'm just trying to heal everyone back up to full, so that we're at full health by the time the team fight breaks loose, and I'm gonna stick back here, where I will hopefully be safe. And then be able to fly in for that sick res. I tried to heal the Reaper up to full because he was in a small skirmish, and their Reinhardt dives really deep. We get a sick pick on him, and so he goes down, and I'm thinking, all right, we got to go in here. It's like all the marbles are right here. Our Reaper's actually down, and I get a nice two-man res right here. Logan's able to keep himself healed with his Lucio healing. Um, and I decided to get a few bullets off onto the diva before I decided to go back on the healing. I try and damage boost the Reaper. It doesn't do a terrible amount, and I'm thinking, oh, I gotta heal our Reinhardt now, and I'm able to get him after all that. Then I move on to healing our Roadhog, Matthew, because I realize that our Rhine is just gonna be going in and in and in, nothing else. Diva's getting really low, so I tried to heal her. At some point, I switched to healing Lucio because of the targeting. I tried just to avoid the Diva ult, and I do. And I'm just trying to build up ult charge here, and I get it. So I'm trying to hide behind this wall so that we all die. But we end up winning the fight instead without my ult, and we take point. So after that, I'm just trying to heal everyone back up to full health so that when the next fight breaks loose, we'll be ready. Reaper teleports up there for a nice cheeky spot. He ends up getting sleeped because he's way out in the open. I'm just spam shooting over at their spawn to hopefully grab some nice damage, and
Possibly.
we end up grabbing the point.
They've been doing it the rest of the game.
So in the final round, we end up losing the game. Spoiler alert. And we decided to go for the same lineup that we've been running. Roadhog decides to split off, maybe get a few picks at the early, and the rest of us go down here. I get some nice heals off. That's for some early ult charge, and Roadhog gets himself killed. Zarya ends up leaving her team, the other Zarya, and goes for the point. I'm not even sure why. She keeps me away from healing our team quite a bit, and it does end up working, but we take the point anyways. Our Ryan doesn't get punished for pinning way out of position, even though he's entirely incredible. He's just absolutely lit. He's at critical health, but he has Diva to back him up. A small fight breaks out here, and I'm just frantically trying to both survive and get ult charge. I see they have a Mercy, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Our Reinhardt tries to hammer it down because we all got our ults really fast. He doesn't end up hitting one, and I get res. We end up winning the fight too, so I'm thinking, oh, I don't need to use res for a while. And I actually dive right into the Zarya because I forgot to cancel my fly or whatever, and it nearly gets me killed. So here I am basically doing the same thing as last round. I'm just trying to get some chip damage in before they can come in and start the fight so that they're already lit. I see that Roadhog is damaged, but he heals himself back up just fine. And it's just rinse and repeat. I'm just watching to see if anyone on our team gets lit, and I'm trying to deal some chip damage before the fight breaks out so that we're full and they're not. Same thing, and we actually get a Roadhog hook right here. we don't act. We end up getting the kill on the Reinhardt, which I actually didn't notice at the time, and they end up dropping the beat. And so I'm hiding over here in the house, and I'm like praying to God. I'm like, team, please just die so I can res. This is essentially how you play Mercy. You just you duck and cover, and then you run back in. We lose one, and I noticed that or the rest of our team is basically at full health, with the exception of Diva, who basically heals back to full health. They pop Zarya ult, they popped Soldier ult, I believe, and they popped Reinhardt ult, and I'm finally able to get 3-man res right there because I've been so patient. It finally paid off. And because of that, we were able to just clean them up after that, with the exception of Zarya, who has oodles of charge. So I end up going back here, and they heal all the way back up. And I don't even know how or why. I guess it was the Lucio. But the point is, our team could not finish cleaning them up because we did not have the damage. We lacked the damage to clean them up. I start getting lit, so I'm just trying to run away from all sorts of damage, and I come face to face with a near fully charged Zarya who just melts me. And I'm crying on the inside because there's a sick res to be made here. But I don't even have ult, so whatever. Same thing, Roadhog goes up for the above, and I follow the rest of the team down here. We're actually 2 down right now. They're back at spawn, and our Ryan decides to go in, and we're like, Ryan, please don't go in, just stay back. And he kind of just stays up there. Our Roadhog gets picked again. What a surprise. This is like deja vu. Holy shit. Um, the same thing happens again here, basically. Zarya ult gets popped, and I end up getting a nice 2-man res right here, praying it will turn the fight around. But then we both get hit by the Earth Shatter, and nothing happens out of it because we all end up just getting out of position. Their Roadhog pops ult and pushes us all away from the point, and we're just trying frantically to kill them. But the thing is, the same thing is happening as round 1. It's 6 1v1s happening across the map, so we're not able to get any value out of these things because our team lacks damage, whereas theirs doesn't because of their Zarya. Also, thanks to the Zarya, they're getting a lot of survivability out of their bubbles because she knows when and where to place bubbles. I get res again here, and I decide to go into the house to hopefully get a nice res off. We drop 1, and we drop the Diva mech, and then we drop both of our second tank, so I drop the res, and I get sucked into a Zarya ult through a wall, but since I can't go through walls, all is well, and I'm safe. We tried to push them off with our Roadhog ult, but their Roadhog ult pushes ours into a corner, and that just gets him killed because screw Roadhog. And then we start just dropping like flies. That's overtime, and the only thing keeping overtime is our Lucio, and he ends up dying, and then we lose the game. Mainly to just some bad rolls at the beginning, some bumpy starts, and then once we finally got our groove, we just let it all go with doing more 1v1s across the entire map. We never did target prioritization or anything. We just decided, oh, I'll take you, now I'll take you, now I'll take you, but it ended up being 6 1v1s across the map, whereas their team worked together, and that's why we lost.
Find no way to kill her? Wow, it's kind of hard to kill Zarya.